All right, some more thoughts, yeah, switch it up, environments, right? So it's like usually I do the voice dictation on my iPads, but yeah, walking on these uneven streets of Tan Pho Ho Chi Minh early at the mornings, probably not a good idea. I'm gonna break my ankle, so switch it up. Actually, the virtues of traveling is, I know a lot of people get stuck in their own ruts, their own routine, dong koi. And as a consequence, the downside is, you know, like everyone wants to be quote unquote happy, right? My personal thought is maybe it's not necessarily happiness that we seek, but it's novelty, it's change, it's excitement, it's fun. Even things that you like, things you don't like, right? So what I like to do, the walks and travel, it's like, so I like it. It's like very simple, right? Just do what you like to do, don't do what you don't like to do. It's pretty simple. Now I think the only thing really holding people back is like economic issues, right? So, oh yeah, I would love to do X, Y, and Z, but I cannot. Ooh, new Uniqlo's in here too, right? Oh, so I would love to do X, Y, and Z, but the only reason I cannot do it is because of X, Y, and Z, right? Therefore, the contrary is, yeah, then giving people the economic tools to do it, right? So the simple thing is just put yourself on a Bitcoin standard, give yourself economic freedoms. Pretty simple, just go all in on Bitcoin, right? And people are, oh, trying to diversify to. I'm like, bro, like, sorry, you don't get the second. There's no such thing as the second best, right? So, for example, you know, Michael Saylor has some good analogies, right? Like if you want the best, you know, you're building an airplane, you don't diversify by making your airplane out of balsa wood and, you know, other materials, because your plane just won't fly, right? Like you make a plate or less out of 100% aluminum. That's just how these things work, right? But I feel like maybe the issue in America, this is the upper house. I think the issue is in America, there's too much a notion of like quote unquote fairness, and that's pretty obstructive for the most parts. The generalized idea is that, oh, like you got to be fair, give everyone a chance, blah blahs, right? But yeah, it's assuming that we live in a predator world. Yes, upper house is so nice. Assuming that we live in a predator world, it's like you're either the predator or you're the prey. Simple, right? And assuming that you're the wolf, you're the eagle, and everyone else is just a bunch of sheep. Just, it's good to boss people around, I think. Yeah, it's be the big swinging dick in the room on the planet. Yeah, yeah, it's okay to boss people around. Like even like some thoughts I'm starting to these, like, yeah, be respectful, right? Like, does the eagle respect the lamb? No, it doesn't even take into consideration none of it, right? Because it's just a sheep. It just, the eagle does as it pleases, right? And so yeah, I think that studying the best logical thought is to rather than study economic theories, much more better and superior to just yeah, to study philosophy. Just read more Nietzsche, Will to Power, etc., right? Ooh. So I think that the big issue here is, yeah, like, you know, what does it mean to be rich and have economic freedoms, etc. So the very, very simple thought is, first, you don't want to be restricted by nothings, right? You want to give yourself the maximum freedom and stuff like that. You don't want to be limited by nothings. And yeah, like, and I think that's also another simple strategy is, first think deeply and consider what your actual desired outcome is in life, and then just work your way backwards. So for example, maximum freedom, right? Even there's like this funny saying in the military, the freedom is not free. That's very true. But then again, what I find is very silly is it's like a bunch of these people back in the States is like, you don't show how free or freedom or American proud you are by buying a Ford truck, buying a bunch of American flags. Just conscript yourself in the military. That's like the best way to do things, right? Like even what Jesus said, if you give with the right hand, don't let your left hand know that you're giving, or something like that. So certainly it's not a problem to brag or nothing like that. I think maybe more the critical issue here is that, like, this place is pretty good. It is first thing. 150. China. Good boy. Come on. Yeah, come on, Ang. Okay. Ooh, pharmacies are open too. Back on high budget. All right, continue the show. So okay, so my thoughts, like, the world is a big ass place and you don't want to be stuck in one spot, right? And truth be told, to be always on a flight is not exactly the most productive thing. So towards some interesting thoughts, the first thought is like this quote transnational idea. I think is generally a good idea. So transnational means, or international, whatever you want to call it, right? It's just a rebranding, right? International. You know, you spend some time in the States, some place abroad, etc., and you kind of undulate between the two. So for example, you know, Bitcoin and crypto stuff it's allowed, it is legal in Vietnam, but because of cybersecurity issues, I probably would never open up my wallet here. I just don't trust it. So as a consequence, yeah, do all of your trading back in the States. Don't do none of it anywhere else. Ooh, and then Gourmet is open here too. So I think the virtues of doing a good morning walk, and then Gourmet is like a quadrillion times better than any place in the States Whole Foods. Oh, so how does it feel like being back in Saigon? So yeah, it's actually crazy because, you know, me and Cindy, we lived abroad, but this is before Sen was born, 2017. And in some ways a lot has changed, but in some ways a lot has stayed the same, which is nice. I mean, for the most part, our favorite restaurant, Chow Bella, I think it's right over there. So I remember all the streets, right? And then but then a lot of things have been upgraded, new streets and stuff like that. And so the upside is, yeah, it's actually quite nice and familiar. It's very it feels good. Now, you know, the only constant in life is change, right? So if you take this Taoist principle into consideration, what that then means is, as we kind of proceed in life and stuff like that, yeah, just embrace, yeah, super easy, guys, embrace change. I think so some other philosophical epiphanies that I got over my years in life is everyone is seeking some sort of perfection in terms of X, Y, and Z, right? But my thought is perfection is death, because it assumes that there is some sort of ultimate static finality which cannot be altered. But perfection, like, I kind of like the idea of perfection being an ever-going, like, you don't, like, perfection is not like a 0 to 1 thing. It's, you're constantly like like, rather call it perfect, maybe we call it refining. I just keep refining it, and there's no ultimate 100% thing, right? It's, you just keep refining it. It's a, I think it's a generally good idea in principle. Back in the big city. Walked in the end of Haipat-Jung. What is here? Well, it looks like Ciao Bella, still here. Walk to the ocean, Saigon Skydeck. What is this? Guianhui. Shin Coffee. Okay, just walking around. Just got time to kill. So yeah, just constantly be in a process of refining. There is not an ultimate finality behind things. So what I think this means. So should we check out the water? No, it's cool. Is there anything on this street? No, why not? Okay. So yeah, so then what it means is, wow, these balloons are so big. Yeah, I guess one of the good things with doing this like GoPro video vlogs and stuff like that is just to show you the scale of things is pretty incredible. Yeah, so capitalism, late state capitalism, like it's kind of interesting that after all is said and done, there's kind of this will to simple and simplification, right? Like ultimately the desired end is just have Bitcoin in your wallet, and then just kind of enjoy cruising around, living off the grid and pursuing your artistic and philosophical ends. So yeah, the question is, once you know how to worry about money, then what?